then answer the group hub message. If it's just have a great day, trust that we all met one another here and we're nice to one another, and we would have said it in person or in an email one-on-one, but you don't have to let one person know great day with 124 people listening. Use the ability to connect to groups of individuals. Not everybody uses that resource. It's a great function in Group Hub. You can connect just to a region. You don't have to talk to all of the hosts. You can just talk to a portion you want to talk to about that topic. So if you're trying to organize something in the MENA regions, just pick the MENA hosts. You can then go through and talk to only them without disrupting and potentially annoying everybody else. Share exemplary materials in the file section. The cool stuff. You don't have to necessarily share every last bit of information or every last file, but if you got a poster that is getting a lot of attention, that every university loves, everybody's asking for, that you really think that all the other hosts can kind of learn from how that poster is designed or how that video is put together, we'd love to see it. I want to make sure that Global Entrepreneurship Week and everybody in this room is a community, that we're not just a whole bunch of countries that are just doing the same thing, that we're actually working together to share best practices, share good examples. The best thing you can do, and that's what Mark and Syed are working on, is if you do have a great poster that you end up getting a lot of personal emails, not group hub messages on, asking how'd you do that. If you have the InDesign files or the template, we don't necessarily need it to just be us that are sharing how to put together an awesome poster. It can be Michael from South Korea that had a really cool video that he can then share the B-roll to, the clips, so that other people can use the same videos. And then finally, remember, Group Hub is a communication tool and a network that everybody from GEW is on. So actually use it as a communication tool, use it as a network, and use it as a community. It's only once a year that we all can come together, but at least with Group Hub, we can stay connected rather than not talking from now on. That's it. Any questions? Any concerns? Okay. Angela? Or, sorry, Orlando.
We're going to wait for the mics, so one sec.
Hello. Okay. I just, you've been saying once and again that it's a burden actually receiving all the hellos and so on, but I think you actually said that by default it goes into everybody's account, the initial one. So is that the issue?
So more often than not, when people are sending out a message, the default response from Group Hub is to send it to everybody. If you don't tick any of the boxes saying I only want it to go to the Central American countries, then it's going to go to everyone. So
is that deliberate? Because if that is the issue, why not just take it out and then have either us choose everybody or 50 or so on?
It's frankly the website. We've been trying to figure out a way to change that, and Basecamp, the company that puts together the Group Hub system, doesn't have that ability to change it.
So probably the better way for those that still are confused about your question is you send an email out to a whole bunch of people, and its default position is reply to all, unless, of course, before you click send, you just decide to be selective as to who it goes to. Okay.
Brenden, here. No, it's easy to everyone if everyone here have the commitment of not responding every single email. It's really, really hard to everybody here who receive dozens of emails every day to have to delete every single one. And the hard part of this is that when there is an important message coming from all of us here, it's hard to filter what is important and what is not important, because 90% of the messages became not important. So I think it's a commitment 100% here.
100% true.
Answer to Brenden, answer to myself, answer to the guy who is posting the message, but please don't do this to everyone, because
and that's not to say don't.
It's hard for the group.
It's not to say don't continue the conversation. If you have something substantive to say in response to that first message, please do. It's a communication tool. We want to have a conversation on there, but it's just it's the thanks, it's the great job, it's the great idea. That's the stuff that, as Giuliano said, ends up I mean, we all do it. We just end up deleting those because it's not, frankly, relevant. Again, sorry to sound mean.
It's just a short idea, but maybe a proposal for a filter. So if it's a reply that you could answer in a language that only you and the other person talk and it wouldn't matter, then just send it to the other person. If it would matter for other people to see it and you would have to say it in English for something to happen, then send it to everyone. So I guess that's the best filter.
It's a great idea.
Can I just ask, is there anybody in the room that's confused about Group Hub still? Because I'm sorry that we got you so much in the details here, but
I said it was going to be boring.
It was an important thing for us to cover while we had you all in the same room.
If anybody
Okay.
is confused, by all accounts, find me. I can sit down at a computer for an hour with you.
Brendan,
and go through Group Hub.
would you like to offer to have lunch with people that are confused?
Sure.
Or would like some
I
other
only saw
things?
2 hands, but sure.
Okay. 3? Oh, there's 2 hands. Oh, you're going to speak. Great. I thought maybe you were confused. So I was confused. Thank you.
It's not that I'm confused. I'm just asking if the hub is for the host only, like in Egypt we're not hosting.
Primarily it is for the hosts, but there is a little bit of leniency depending upon, obviously, the person in the network. And
So what if the host is not like doing a good job, or what? Like,
talk.
do I send you it directly,
We'll talk.
or we should talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
they're not a host.
Yeah, one of the things, by the way, that Brenden brings some discipline to us all with is he can be sometimes a little bit unkind to people in terms of we want you to have blunt communications, but he's also going to be quite strict about trying to moderate Group Hub in a way that says, you know, with all due respect, could you please try to follow the etiquette? But while I'm on that comment, is there anybody, and I think this is very, very important in some of the cultures that we have as part of Global Entrepreneurship Week, I do want to give either people an opportunity either privately afterwards to express to Brenden or myself if there's any anxieties about this etiquette of how we're communicating with each other. We couldn't come up with anything that really fit every single culture. So do let us know if there's something that you're uncomfortable about this because of, you know, a cultural limitation. And we want to try to work with you to make this effective. But remember, the spirit here is to have you have this Global Entrepreneurship Congress ability virtually throughout the year. And if you respect it by using the channel in a very economical way, people will actually open and look at the Group Hub messages, or they'll manage their dashboard. The other thing I just want to really emphasize that Brenden said is several of you this week have gathered into smaller groups around either a specific project, a specific region, or something else. That's what Group Hub's for. It's your tool to be able to target those group conversations afterwards. So if you were the group that got together and said, we're going to do Startup Africa, just set up a Startup Africa, you know, so use Group Hub and limit it to the people in those particular.
Exactly.
So you can, it'll only take you a few seconds, but it's kind of like any other groups. Once you've set it up, this will enable you to continue the dialogue without having to clutter your mind and your computer with yet another communications toolbox. So many thanks. Other questions or comments before we go? No? No other questions or comments? No, over here, Chad.
Just very quickly, what's the storage capacity for our files on the Group Hub? Because I keep on getting messages that I'm out of storage space.
That's a good question.
We know the answer, but not right now.
Okay.
I'll make sure we send a message out with instructions on that. We do have that in the back end of it in the admin settings, and so it'll be a quick and easy.
Because what I do is I just upload everything onto the files, and it says 96% full capacity. You can no longer upload any more files onto the system.
Yeah, well, and obviously once we find out the limitations on that, there are obvious solutions to that, including cleaning our files a little bit and also obviously upping the capacity. So
Okay,
we'll look into it right away. Thanks.
We never fear if we haven't got enough room in the cloud, so to speak, we'll create more capacity. So don't stop sending stuff. You know, alert Brenden. and we'll make sure we get it fixed, because we don't want to have any technical reasons why we didn't hear from you or receive your content. Thanks. Thank you, Brenden.
I'm gonna go.
I'm going to leave that here. Again, I'm going to reiterate, one of the things I'm learning from entrepreneurs is the importance of taking care of the details as well as the vision. So we want to thank you for your patience with us doing some things that for some of you might seem very small minutiae in the concept of a campaign strategy. But if I could point out, if you are not actually the point-to-point day person on this, either because that person couldn't be here or because you are the person they report to, please at least go away with emphasizing the importance of the internal communication tools and the need to communicate with us. The more we hear from you, the more we can do for you. And the better our relationship as a result of that, the more we can be effective for you. So if you're not the right person, please try to convey that. Brenden will be happy to spend time with that person individually, bringing them up to speed. We'll have to share any of the PowerPoints, of course. And all of this information, as with everything, is on unleashingideas.org. We're going to move on to our final session here before we have used the balance of our time before lunch for discussion on networks and startup communities. I'm going to invite Mark to the podium, and I think Mark is going to bring, have a short discussion with you about metrics, and then he's going to feed straight into a discussion about the website and digital. We did start late this morning, so if you really need coffee, it is out there. You can just quietly step up and things, but we decided to start lunch on time. So that's why we're not taking a big break in between. But this is the last, we'll have this and the discussion on startup communities, and then we'll go from there. But allow me, if I can, I want to compliment, is Denmark here? Okay. I know Anders had to leave. Sorry? Yes. Yes, he left yesterday, but please pass on. I just saw this report, Anders' report, evaluation report on the GW campaign, and as an introduction to Mark to coming up talking about metrics. Congratulations, Denmark. Good job. Very, very, very thorough and very helpful to all of us. Thanks. So without further ado, Mark.
Thanks, Jonathan. As Jonathan mentioned, I want to keep this kind of quick and simple. And so what I've focused some slides on here is a quick look at some things